we got Meghan's jam. This is some royal jam from the Duchy of Cornwall. This is Prince William's jam. But this is As Ever, you know, Meghan's lifestyle site. I must say, it's quite nice packaging. I'll give it that. Nicer than I thought it would be. And we have spent, you can't order it here in London, so we had to order it through a friend of mine who lives in Los Angeles. They got the product and then they send it on. It's cost us a fortune. This jar of non-jam, because it's actually only allowed officially to be called fruit spread because there's not enough fruit in it. It probably costs about 300 quid, so it better be good. Now, with me to enjoy this experience, to taste test it with me, is psychologist and narcissism expert Richard Grannon. Narcissism expert. We're going to talk about Meghan. I can't imagine why I got him in. But anyway, I thought you... so welcome, Richard.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on. I'm not a jam expert, but...
well, nor am I. No. If you're listening, I'm opening this cylinder now. If you're watching, what a... Ta-da! Right, there it is. This is raspberry spread. I believe this is like $14 or something. The honey is $28 and the tea is about the same price. So they're not giving this away. So, magic moment. I'm going to open it now. Hang on. I heard... Yeah, I mean, it doesn't overwhelm you. And people said it was thin. I can see that. It's moving around in the jar. Right. Okay. So this is the raspberry one.
It's expensive. It lacks substance.
The only way is up. Right. I'll be mum, as it were.
Okay.
Or mum, as there you go. Excuse fingers. Right, if you take that, Richard.
Rightio.
Careful now.
Oh,
okay.
There we go.
We've only got one plate, by the way.
Yeah.
The canteen couldn't spare any more. I told the staff to go around and nick some, but anyway. Right, here we go. The magic moment. It is very thin, I'd say that, but there are a few lumps in it. Let's go.
A taste of entitlement, greed, avarice and deception.
Well, we've got it on crackers here, so we probably should have put a bit more on. So I'm licking it there because with the cracker and the amount, the stingy amount,
it's bringing a bit of salt.
But I mean, I'll be fair. That's quite a fruity taste, isn't it?
It's tangy. It's nice.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
It's all right.
Yeah, I mean, it's all right. I mean, nothing to write. It's not worth $14.
It's not worth 14.
I mean, and I'll say this as well. The packaging is quite nice. I mean, she's obsessed with packaging. She made a big thing about this. We've got some other projects. This is how it turned up, by the way. This is the shortbread cookie mix. So what we're going to do, we're going to cook some of this up in the fullness of time and probably eat it on my TV show, What Just Happened. So that's going to guarantee me a massive audience. Oh, you've got to watch Kev's show. He's going to try the cookie dough. Right.
Narcissistic cookie dough.
There is the cookie dough.
Wow, that should have been seized at customs straight away.
It does look like the sort of thing that you might have trouble getting through customs with, particularly if you're flying in from Colombia, if you know what I mean. But I'm sure it's lovely. Well, there it is, but we won't be able to taste that. But just to show, this is how it turned up. I mean, look, I mean, it's like all open, pretty damaged, so that is worth mentioning. Now, the big thing, Richard, that she's very big on is edible flowers. Now, brace yourselves if you're watching. Brace yourselves, because this is spectacular. Be prepared to take a big intake of breath. Right. Well,
that was well worth it. There's some clippings from the garden.
It's like a tiny packet with a few coloured bits in it. Of course, I haven't got any scissors here, but I'll have to open it like this. Okay. Right. Well, have you still give us your?
I've still got a bit of cracker there.
I'll put some on.
Oh yeah, thank you.
But you didn't want to finish it all, then?
It was.
No, I'm going to be fair. It's quite a nice taste. Nothing to write home about. No better than an average sort of supermarket jam. But you know, but let's be fair. It's fine. It's not worth $14. That's for damn sure. Right, I'm putting these edible flowers on mine. Let's go again.
Here we go. Wow.
That's like, so we've got this reasonable jam, and now we put sawdust on it. So, I mean, I don't know what. I mean, I've had edible flowers in posh restaurants, but man, that tastes of absolutely nothing at all. But she says it's for decorative purposes, to be fair. So there you have it, folks. As ever, it's arrived here. They said you could do something else with this package. I mean, like, God knows what. You can use it for all sorts of other things. Like what? What else could you use that for? If you're just listening, I've just got this sort of cardboard cylinder in my hand. Oh yeah. We should do it. We're going to compare and contrast now because I forgot. Well, this is the Duchy of Cornwall, so this is Prince William's jam. £3.
Not $14. £3.
£3. Oh yeah, brilliant. Can't open it. Hang on. Done it. Right, I'll do you another one, Richard. All right. This which one is this? This is strawberry.
Strawberry.
That's her favourite, isn't it? Strawberry. First of all, I would say it's got a lot more consistency. This you can legally call jam, so it's much more sort of solid. Let's try it. Yeah, you know what? It's got a lot more depth, hasn't it?
It's just a jammier jam. It's got integrity. It's a traditional flavour. It's integrity, tradition.
You sound like one of those pretentious wine critics.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a bit of a ruffian, but I think you'll be amused by its presumption. Well, actually, you really can tell. This is
proper jam.
It really is.
That's real.
Meghan's is kind of quite sharp.
Tangy,
and thin and tangy, but not unpleasant, as I say, and certainly not worth $14. So thank you very much, Meghan. And as I say, get ready, because tomorrow on my show, which goes out on Friday night, we're going to try the cookies. So, right, shall we try and do a bit of journalism or something like that? Yeah. Let me ask you, we spoke last week. We put, if you regular viewers and listeners will remember, last week Richard and another psychologist helped us, we put Harry on the couch, on the psychiatrist's couch, to try and work out what was going on in his head. I'm not sure he's at all sure, but there's no doubt the man is in the depths of some kind of paranoia. Whether that amounts to mental illness, I don't know, but that interview he gave on the BBC was extraordinary, wasn't it? Now, let me ask you this. You're an expert on narcissism in particular. Two questions. Is Meghan a narcissist?
I mean, you can't, without meeting her and without subjecting her to extensive tests, I can't sit here and diagnose and say I know that she has a narcissistic personality disorder. But if you look at all of the diagnostic and statistical manual traits that a clinician would look for in diagnosing narcissism and the patterns of behaviour, even the way she used words, it's highly narcissistic, highly indicative of narcissistic psychopathy, or maybe something even worse.
I mean, was it yesterday or the day before? It was Mother's Day, wasn't it? And she, even in she posted a picture of her and the kids. you know, obviously the back of their heads. Can't ever see their faces, of course. With them all climbing all over and talking about how much they loved her.
Yeah.
She loves to talk about how much people love her.
This is a peculiar subtype of narcissism that's pro-social narcissism, where they'll say, look how good I am, look how beloved I am for the things I give and for the things I do. So we call these pro-social narcissists.
But that's her. That's 100%. Her through and through.
100%. She thinks that she's special because of her kindness, her charitable works. I think she's completely deluded. She has very little grasp of how the rest of us actually perceive her.
Yeah, did you hear her? What was it last week when she did a podcast? She was the guest. Her friend was called Jamie Kern-Lima. Such weird names, don't they? Jamie Kern-Lima, one of her friends in Montecito, apparently, and Meghan says one day, "I'm so done with the haters. I know I'm a good friend. I know I'm a good wife. I know I'm a good person." That's what we're talking about, right?
And that's a refusal of negative feedback. That's infantile. If you say to me, "Listen, you're not acting very nicely. You're not this." If it's coming from multiple sources, a reasonable person would say, maybe I should review my behaviour, my character, and the way I'm putting myself out to the world, because I'm getting a lot of negative feedback here. Narcissistic personality disorder is a shield against reality. It's a shield against negative feedback.
And is it born of, you know, a deep love of yourself, or is it actually going beyond that, born of a kind of insecurity?
It's compensatory. So yeah, there's usually behind it all deep self-loathing and a great distrust of your own integrity. Yeah,
because people who boast about themselves usually that's a protective cloak against their own deep-set insecurity, isn't it?
100%.
Oh, I'm great, I'm great, I'm great. All the time they're thinking, oh, I don't think I am great. You know?
No, and it's usually a projection as well. You'll notice it's all about the image. Even the way she structured the product that she sent out, it's heavy on image, it's heavy on packaging, and it's weak on substance. That's exactly what narcissistic personality is.
That's interesting. By the way, I'm going to ask you about Harry in a second. I don't think, I mean, this is you and I, we're not pretending we're professionals in this area, but I don't think this business stands much of a chance. I mean,
got no chance.
Who's going to order this stuff again? I mean, a lot of people, some people, you know, so out of novelty value, intrigue, let's have a look at her, let's taste her produce, let's order some of it. It's all very expensive. I mean, who's going to go, oh no, I must buy another one of those $28 jars of honey, you know, or shall I go down the supermarket and get one for $2? You know, I think that's a no-brainer, isn't it? So I think the people who bought her produce on the first round out of interest, intrigue, novelty value, I don't see what the incentive is for them to go back and get more, do you?
There's only the sort of the buzz of it, the momentary. It's a vanity project. Clearly it's vanity. It's nothing of substance. What does Meghan Markle know about making food?
Yeah.
So why is she making it, other than to promote this fake good wife? Wholesome image.
Well, it turns out that she maybe doesn't know much about making food, because she's revealed in the last couple of days that she doesn't have time to cook for her family, but she can sure as hell make their takeaways look lovely. That's what she said. So she revealed only a couple of weeks ago that she had a full-time nanny, which again belied the hard-working mum image she's tried to project. And now I suspect, we don't know this for sure, but I think she's got a full-time cook as well.
It's starting to look like that, and this would be the psychopathic side of her. So her impulse control will be quite low. Her executive function isn't great, so she doesn't think before she speaks. She'll forget her lies.
Yes.
So in the moment she'll be like, oh, I'm a wonderful mother, traditional and wholesome mother, and then the next day she's forgotten that story she's told and she lets it slip. Yes,
but that's exactly what happened with the nanny story. That was, I think, it was on. It was one of the podcasts she's done recently. It might have been with Jamie Kern-Lina. There's another friend of hers that in Montecito she did her own podcast with. But on one of the podcasts in the last couple of weeks, she sort of accidentally let it slip. The nanny. So she's talking. She's always talking about the school run and I'm a working mum, work-life balance.
She wants praise for taking her children to school. It's incredible.
I think that she forgot.
She's forgotten.
That she forgot that she's never told us she's
And there
got
would
a
have
nanny.
been the opportunity to flex. There would have been the opportunity to show off and brag that she has a nanny or she has a personal cook. And these two things will conflict in the moment and they'll break through.
Yeah. So that is typical, is it? That these people who create a beautiful image of themselves forget their own image lies.
They'll forget their own lies and they'll trip themselves up. That's when you're looking at like it's a comorbidity, psychopathy with narcissism conjoined, and she is a pro-social narcissist, as I said, and it has that very low impulse control. They just forget who they're talking to and what lies they've told.
Interesting. Right, let's move on. Is Harry a narcissist?
Again, I couldn't say.
I mean, I realise they're not your patients.
Yeah, they're not my.
But from what you can see,
from what I can see, there's a highly narcissistic defence that he's engaged in, and he's behaving very narcissistically. Now, there's two options. One is due to his upbringing and what he experienced as a child. He's got a very, very weak ego boundary, so he's highly codependent. He's attached himself to Meghan as a kind of a continuation of what he couldn't do with his mother, and a continuation of her story. That's one option. Or it could be that he was always a fragile narcissist, and they're in a folie à deux. The two of them together have created a dyad where they can feed each other's fragile narcissistic delusions, where instead of the fragile narcissist saying, I'm amazing and I'm powerful, they'll say, I'm the biggest victim in the room. Nobody's ever suffered as I have.
Oh, my God, their victimhood is
it's off the chart.
Legendary. Yeah, I mean, it really is off the scale. Well, look, let's go to break now. When we come back, we'll talk more of this, because I want to try to delve into the dynamics. Right, let's talk more, Richard, if we can, about this relationship. We were touching on Harry before the break. From my amateur viewpoint, it looks to me like she's in charge. He does what he's told.
100%. So he even if he is on the spectrum for narcissism, in this relationship he is being instrumentalized, and I think it has this. He's the errant knight that she sends out to use her words and to send her message out into the world. So she's directing him. I believe she's instrumentalized him. He's a sock puppet for her. Whatever she believes, whatever she says, he repeats it and echoes it.
And do you think, because I felt her presence, if you like, when he gave that disastrous, really ill-advised interview a couple of Fridays ago, after he lost the case here in Britain, his long-running legal battle to get armed police protection whenever he visits this country, it was always a lost cause. Everybody knew he was just wasting money. He lost the first case. He stubbornly appealed. He lost the appeal. The judge then said, Harry, he didn't actually say it in those terms, but he basically said, Harry, give it up. You are never going to win this case. Yet he went back, appealed again. He lost millions of pounds, and the result is what we all knew it was going to be. Like a kid, like a spoilt brat who didn't get his own way and who was throwing his toys out of the pram, he sat down with the BBC for 30 incendiary minutes. Apparently it was only supposed to be 10 minutes, but he wouldn't stop. And I think probably severed all ties with his family forevermore. The things he was saying were, I thought, incredibly, sort of almost disturbingly paranoid. You remember he was saying, oh, I didn't lose this case because I'm an idiot, which is what he should have said, a stubborn half-wit. He said, I lost this case because of an establishment stitch-up. My father is in league with shadowy figures in the government and they want me dead. They want me unsafe, and so on and so forth. Nothing is ever this guy's fault. Did you think that the level of his paranoia was quite extreme?
I think he sounded at points completely delusional and honestly deranged, and I did feel sorry for him. Even this part of the story where he tried to buy the British police. He said, I'll pay. And I was thinking, do you think that they would let you set the precedent for the police security to be bought? They can't. They can't do that.
He doesn't understand the way the country works.
He doesn't seem to, no.
He's like an American. I mean, I love Americans, no disrespect, but Americans do tend to think that this country is ruled by the king, that the king governs this country. Well, he doesn't. Harry thinks he does.
It's strange how he's absorbed those American coordinates, hook, line and sinker from her, and then he speaks. He still speaks with a British accent, but he speaks with an American naivety.
Yeah, doesn't he? Yeah.
And he uses a lot of woke language.
Psychobabble.
A lot of psychobabble when he's speaking, a lot of victimhood narrative. And the idea, it's an insane thing to say to the BBC that he had basically implied the same people who wanted rid of his mother now want rid of him, and that King Charles was almost approving of that. That's a terrible thing to imply.
It's absolute nonsense. It was deluded, deranged, demented. It's just, and everything you said was, you know, demonstrably just not true. But he believes it to be true. Look, what I've always thought about, if you were in the royal family, right, William has certainly got it, Charles has got it, Anne has got it. You need a certain level of intelligence to appreciate the unique hand you've been dealt in life. I mean, there can be very little more extraordinary than to sort of grow up realising, oh my God, I'm a prince of the realm, I'm a royal family, I'm in the royal, everywhere I go people know who I am, I'm privileged, I live in palaces. Now, in order to keep your feet on the ground, and in order actually not to turn into some kind of arrogant, privileged a-hole, you need the brains to work that out. I just think Harry is not a bright guy, and I don't think he's got the intellectual capacity to deal with his position in life. Would that be a reasonable assessment in your view?
I think it's a reasonable assessment. I think birth order is important here. He is the younger of the two brothers, and probably his older brother protected him from a lot of the responsibilities that should have been his growing up. So you can end up with like a little clown syndrome with the youngest child, where they're just indulged by everybody because they're the youngest. All very cute up until the age of 10. When you've got a man in his, in his 40s talking like that, it's not so cute. It's not that fun. But yeah, there is a lot of entitlement there, and
a sort of fury that he's not higher up the pecking order. Well, what does that mean?
That's the other element of the security thing that bothered me. He's basically saying, I want exactly the same security.
It's a status thing.
It's purely about status, but he claimed it was for the security of his family. That's disingenuous and highly manipulative to claim, I'm scared for the safety of myself and my family. Nobody is going to let your family be at risk. If he ever comes here, he's going to get full security, and he knows that. He was fighting for the status. That's a problem.
Yeah, and the feud with his family, with his brother, with his father, all of his family here. I mean, what does that indicate about him? People who tend to have these kind of familial feuds.
I think it's, as you originally said, there's a mindset you need to have that I think other royal family members have shown. Yes, there's a lot of pomp and circumstance. Yes, it's a lot of tradition, but it is a unique hand you've been dealt. Take the rough with the smooth. If you really care about your charities and the good you want to do in the world, do it from that position of status, but it's give and take. It can't just be all on your terms. You need humility, and people with narcissistic personality they fail the reality test, so they can't tell the difference between their fantasies of how things should be and the reality itself.
That makes sense. And I mean, going forward, I mean, I think that interview that we watched last Friday, I don't want to overstate it, but I thought we watched a man who's got mental health difficulties, to say the least. He's got a lot of deep paranoia, probably needs help. Going forward, how can he sort himself out? Does he need to get out of her clutches? I've said, as we discussed last week, I think it's a fair thing to say. I think she's ruined him. Don't forget, this was the happy-go-lucky, likely lad that the nation loved. He seemed to be having fun. Ever since he's met her, he's turned into this sort of complaining, bitter, misery guts. The whole world is against him. He hates everyone, hates his brother. Does he need to get out of her clutches to cure himself of this?
He does, but he needs also to get past whatever it is that drove him into her clutches. She's not that important or that powerful, really. He's given her that power. If he hadn't have given her that power, she'd be another wannabe actress from, I mean, she's from Hollywood. I think she's from Hollywood, right?
She is,
born and bred. She'd be just another wannabe actress, part-time model. He gave her that status, so he's got, he probably doesn't see how much power he has in this scenario. If he just got rid of her, and he doesn't deal with what's going on internally, he'd probably find another woman to do the same thing to him again. He's always going to crave a tyrannical, narcissistic wife.
Interesting. I mean, do you think, looking at the dynamics of this relationship and everything we've just been discussing about both of their tendencies towards narcissism, her tendency, not tendency, her desire for total control of everything, do you think this relationship will stand the test of time, or do you think it might? A lot of people think it can't go on.
I would suspect it won't. When you have two highly narcissistic people, if they're both grandiose narcissists, that can go on for time. But because he's codependent, he's weaker than her. Yeah. And I don't know how long she'll be able to tolerate that for past another 5, 7, 10 years before she'll start looking for the door. The buzz of all this will go. She's role-playing as royalty.
Of course, yeah.
And once she's sick of that game and it's not fun anymore, and it probably isn't that fun now,
yeah, and she seems to me to be the kind of person who once she's used up a person for her own purposes, she ditches them. She's got a lot of track record of that. So if she reaches the point where she thinks this guy, old Ginger Nuts, isn't really doing me any good anymore, she'll move on, won't she?
I mean, if he's not open, if the status of being with him no longer keeps her in the limelight, no longer opens doors that were otherwise closed, gives her the power, because she's still allowed to use HRH.
No, she can't use HRH, but she is, of course. No, she started to she uses it.
But
the Queen's dying wish was don't use HRH, because the Queen, this is the late great Queen, of course, feared quite justifiably that she would use HRH for commercial purposes.
But she can still call herself Sussex.
Duchess of Sussex.
Duchess of Sussex, she can. So if that doesn't keep her in the limelight, and it doesn't give her the power that she clearly, this is the psychopathic side of her, she craves power in a way that, you know, you might want something, but we can't understand the craving that they have just for raw power and control. If he's not doing it, no, she'll get rid of him.
And so she loves this Duchess of Sussex because that gives her status as well, yeah?
In the eyes of Americans. I mean, I can only imagine how impressed her American friends are.
I tried to tell my American friends, you know, over here in Britain, we couldn't give a damn about titles. So many of her. Every other Tom, Dick and Harry's got a baroness, a baron, a viscount. We don't care. So good luck to Americans for looking up to her for that reason. Last question. I don't know why this is the last question. It should have been one of my first questions, really. Is he an alpha male, or is he like a gamma male?
I don't...
He seems to be pretty gamma around her.
I would say, I think, so in Jungian psychology, he would be called the puer aeternus, which means the eternal child. He's never grown up. He's never been forced to grow up. He's a little boy. Yeah. One day he will, I hope, he becomes a man and realises that inside of him, but until then we can't even call him a gamma male. He's just a kid.
A kid, yeah, which, to go back to that interview, that was a spoilt brat throwing his toys out of the pram when he didn't get his own way.
When he didn't get his own way, and then he's the biggest victim in the room, and it's a big conspiracy and people are trying to kill him. Come on, dude, grow up.
Richard, fantastic to talk to you. I hope you enjoyed your jam.
I did. I loved my narcissistic jam.
Yeah, your narcissistic jam, and we absolutely loved the edible flowers. They were spectacular. Sponges, coloured sawdust, that's all that was. Richard Grannon, psychologist and narcissism expert. He'll be on this show again pretty damn soon, I predict. In fact, I know, because I'm in charge.